Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along here live on the Tiger Network. Great to have you with us for what promises to be the most hotly anticipated game of Division III men's soccer this weekend. You are looking live at Paul McGinley Soccer Field here in San Antonio, Texas, the campus of Trinity University, where tonight the Tigers find themselves as rare home underdogs, ranked number 17 in the nation, taking on the number 3 ranked team, the University of Chicago Maroons. Great to have you with us. My name is Callum Squires. Thank you very much for spending your Sunday evening with us. Hope you're having a wonderful Labor Day weekend. We'll run you through the starting lineups here in just a couple of minutes. Trinity with just one change from Friday night when they defeated the University of Rutgers Newark 3-1. That change is in goal as Blake Lieberman cedes the starting job to number 0, Caleb Taylor. So for the Tigers, it will be Taylor in goal. Back 4 of Castillo, Masvarhala, Cano, and Galan. In midfield, Johnston, Vanderlee, Moore, and Hallenberger, with Mitchell and Michaelis up front. For the University of Chicago, Aaron Katsipalis, the sophomore goalkeeper, in goal for the Maroons. In defense, Sam Drablos, Isaiah Holquist, Nate Johnson, and Scott Lich. Lich. We'll see if I get that pronunciation right as the game goes on. Midfield, some very, very talented players for the Maroons. A lot of highly touted all-region and all-American returners. Renato Corgi and Nico Capatosto likely to be the key cogs in the Chicago midfield. With Deo Adeosun, Max Lopez, native Texan Carter Romero, and the ever-dangerous Matthew Coe in the attack for Chicago. We are just about set to go here. This one, probably the biggest game in D3 this weekend, coupled with the Washington and Lee against Emory game, which I think was number 15 against number 13. That one turned into an instant classic with Emory winning 5-4 in OT. If we get anything like that tonight, the fans here will certainly be getting their money's worth of entertainment. Referee this evening is Lane Burris. He's assisted by Matt Breland and John Trowbridge. And the Tigers come out of their huddle, ready to go. Trinity Chicago, the nightcap of the day and the weekend itself. Austin Michaelis ready to get us going, and lots of noise from the Tiger bench away to my right. Chicago against Trinity, and we are underway. Brady Johnston swings it out instantly to Rodrigo Castillo, who had a very nice game on Friday night against Rutgers Newark. Ethan Moore, instantly a combative tackle there from one of the defenders on the right-hand side, but the Tigers breaking forward early here. Here's Castillo, gets an early throw-in down in the attacking half for the Tigers as they look to start as quickly as they did against Rutgers Newark. Brady Johnston giving the Tigers the lead after just 76 seconds on Friday night. Thrown into Mitchell. Hallenberger was snooping there as well. This is Ethan Moore putting the battle in, trying to win the ball back for the Tigers, and Moore ends up trying to square it. Mitchell's in there, and the Tigers will take an early corner here as they look to seize momentum at the start of this game. Lots of noise from both benches here. Katsipalis on his line, trying to organize the Maroons' defense. Swung in low and hooked away by Scott Lich. Ethan Moore battling past 2 defenders, still loose in the box there, and in fact a foul given. Ethan Moore winning a free kick. Nicely done by Moore here early on as the Tigers trying to find some spark in the offense. This is Jacob Hallenberger, the maverick left-footed winger for the Tigers. He's lining this one up. Carter Romero in the wall. Hallenberger has more on the edge of the box, free if he wants to lay it off. Swings it into the middle towards Johnston! Just wide. The Tigers can't believe it hasn't gone in. Moore, Hallenberger swings it back in again. It's deflected. Katzimpalis punches away from under his crossbar and claims at the second attempt. But the Tigers so close to stealing the early advantage there. Brady Johnston's header somehow evading the corner of the net. The Maroons back underway here in play. Johnson to Drablos and now Litch. That's down towards Roman Cano, who will win the throw-in off Max Lopez. Nearly the identical start to Friday night for the Tigers. That's Litch's head. Here's Matthew Coe, the highly touted right-sided attacking player. Moore gives that one up, and Lopez tries to find Adeosun. Great tackle by Van der Lee, but Lopez comes back at him. That's Romero trying to find Capitosto. Moore does well, and here's Castillo looking early for Wesley Mitchell, but Drablo should be able to see it back. Mitchell's in there, and a little bit of push from the back. Nothing given there. That's forward down the line for Max Lopez, who just can't keep it in. Looked like the linesman got in the way a little bit there. Coe misses that one, but Litch is put under pressure by Mitchell. Galan steps in on Adeosun. Could have been a foul. Capitosto swings it to the left-hand side. And that's where Isaiah Holquist is. He drives forward, feeds it inside to Renato Corgi. Excuse me, that was Capitosto. Corgi, his partner in the midfield. Out left here is Carter Romero, the native of Austin, Texas. Bit of a homecoming for him. Turning in the midfield. There's lots of space there for Holquist as he drives forward. Finds Adeosun, who's drifted out to the left-hand side, but he runs into Van der Lee, and Van der Lee tries to feed it into Mitchell. Corgi puts a solid tackle in on him, and Capitosto gets the ball to Lopez, who spins away, and Lopez takes an early shot, and Taylor just about manages to get his body behind it, as that one nearly evaded his grasp. Ethan Moore on the left now. Feeds it into Mitchell, comes off the head of Drablos, and in fact a foul given against Mitchell there as the Tigers continue to try and build forward quickly. Chicago though with their first effort on goal just a couple of seconds ago. Chance for Lopez to try and win the header, and Adeosun in there as well. Romero breaking to the left-hand side here under pressure from Hallenberger, who's inverted his position with Ethan Moore early on in the game here. That's a cross into the box. Matthew Coe will be put under pressure by Jacob Galan here. And Cano can allow that one just to go through to Taylor. Here's Masfar Haller, the junior from Stavanger, Norway, leading things out for the Tigers. He looks long and sends it down the channel for Austin Michaelis, who's up against Nate Johnson. Michaelis, time to turn and face his man. Can he knock it down the line and go? Michaelis into the box. Well covered by Drablos in the end. Castillo, and he wins a corner off Holquist. And the Tigers continuing to put the pressure on the Maroons here early. It's an end-to-end game. We were expecting a high-octane clash, and that's certainly what it looks like we're getting so far. These two teams both capable of blowing things open offensively. Hallenberger's corner towards Johnson again. And missed his kick, did Adeosun, and Now Matthew Coe will be pressured by Galan, and Galan gets there first. Hallenberger in down the right-hand side. Can he create something for the Tigers here? Hallenberger, shots blocked. And Moore has to sweep it up along with Van der Lee, though they don't quite get a hold of it. And Coe now in a bit of a foot race with Castillo, which Castillo will comfortably win, thankfully for the Tigers. Taylor is going to play it into the midfield, and Masvarhala finds Castillo. Hallenberger stretching the Tigers on the left-hand side. Galan pushing up as well. Masvarhala has Johnston as an easy option. He gives the 1-2 there. Chicago not pressing particularly high, allowing the Tigers to have possession in their own half. Ethan Moore, who's a bit deeper than Coach McGinley will want to see him. And now Masvarhala again. Moore with Castillo ahead of him. Does find Rodrigo Castillo, the sophomore from Kingwood, Texas. He plays it down the line. Wesley Mitchell could be in behind here. Cross into the middle, and Litch missed it! Oh, Jacob Galan nearly had his second goal in 2 games. And it's a save from Katsin Palace in the end. Galan gets back and tries to stop this Chicago break. Lopez to Coe. Here's Corgi, has Capitosto to his left. And fortunately for the Maroons, that one gets through. Ethan Moore back on the right now will track over there to try and keep Isaiah Holquist at bay. The Tigers pace up front, causing problems for the Maroons early on. Nice chest control there and flick in behind from Carter Romero. Adeosun with time to turn. He is a real live wire in the attack for Chicago. He feeds it out there, and this could be a chance for Romero in towards Lopez! And it's the perfect start for the University of Chicago. Max Lopez's left-footed finish gives Chicago the lead inside of 10 minutes here in San Antonio. A superb goal down the left-hand side. Romero escaped Van der Lee, and the right foot of Lopez, who beat Cano to the ball, gives Chicago the lead. And this game is blown wide open here. Chicago probably a little bit on the back foot for most of the first 10 minutes, but that's showing you just how dangerous they are when they get into the final third. And it's 1-0 to the Maroons here with a shade under 9 minutes played. Michaelis tries to close that one down on Drablos. Coe is here back in his own defensive third. Cano comes short with Lopez, but Lopez does nicely well there. Cano does intercept that one. Johnston feeds Hallenberger. He's pressured by Corgi. Hallenberger feeds it into Galan. And now here's Johnston with space on the right for Ethan Moore, but he goes instead to Mitchell. Wesley Mitchell finds Moore, gets it back, drives forward towards the box again. There was a tackle from Capitosto, but nothing doing there. Adeosun into Capitosto. Corgi giving him an option, but Scott Litch is free down the right-hand side if they can find him. Galan needs to track that there. And Litch is in behind potentially, but Taylor is just able to get there. Nicely played from Chicago in the attack again. Certainly got some pace down that right-hand side with Coe and Litch. That's Romero's second assist of the season. He supplied the assist for Matthew Coe's goal at Southwestern on Friday. Chicago opened their season with a 1-0 win. And they are ranked number 3 for a reason. Trinity with a good start here, but find themselves behind early on. Here's Adeosun, space in the midfield. Tries to play one round the corner for Coe, and Matt Coe could be in behind. Galan does well to hold him up. It could be Lopez again, though. And Taylor gets there. Chicago creating opportunities. Mitchell able to take it down. He will have a go at Litch, and nothing given there by the referee. That's Drablos out to the left-hand side. And Holquist. Holquist into Capitosto. Turns away from Van der Lee, who manages to get him to give it up to Romero. Romero finds Adeosun, and he's offside. Vetla Masvarhala held the line nicely there for the Tigers. Taylor to Cano. Cano put under some pressure. Gives it back to Taylor again. There's Masfarhala open to his right, and that's where it goes as Lopez applies a bit of token pressure, but nothing too serious from Maroons. They seem to be happy to allow the Tigers to play in their own half. Masfarhala looking towards Michaelis with Johnson on his back. Michaelis holds it up nicely, but the pass intended for Castillo doesn't find him. Hallenberger wins it back. Moore doesn't connect that one. Tries again here as he turns away from Capitosto. Vanderlee put under pressure, and he is able to win a throw-in for the Tigers. Trinity needing to move it a little bit quicker there. Vanderlee signaling with his right hand. Linesman down to my right, taking a little bit of a yawn, clearly tired. Not quite sure how that can be the case. It's only 8:30. Anyway, Chicago with a throw-in here on the left-hand side. In fact, that might even be called a foul. Not quite sure where that came from. But Holquist will take the free kick. He hits it forward. Vanderlee is pressured there, and Lopez does great in the air to win that header. Ethan Moore with a chest down to Vanderlee, who was trying to set Michaelis away early, but it will go through to Aaron Katsimpalis in goal. Galan needs to track Lich here. Ko gives him the overlap. Ko sends it off the shoulder of Lich, and Cano just taps it down. Johnston feeds Vanderlee. The pressure was put on by Adeosun, but the Tigers just about break out of it. Wesley Mitchell chasing this one down the channel, and Johnson has to send it back. They will just about keep it in there, Chicago. Impressive defensive work from Romero and Holquist. Johnston dives in on Lopez and is going to be called for the foul. Apologies if you can hear the wind blowing through the microphone here. Certainly Coach Mike Babst will be very happy with the way Chicago have started here, getting on top early on and forcing Trinity back a little bit after the early barrage that the Tigers applied to the Maroons. Johnston can't intercept that. Vanderlee is bypassed by Ko and Capitosto. That's Lopez with a lovely flick. Ko with a chance to shoot. It deflects towards Adeosun, and Rodrigo Castillo has to get there and does. Chicago putting more pressure on the Tigers. Here's Moore. Moore inside for Vanderlee, and he has Johnston away to his left. Galan starts taking off, and Ko doesn't look like he wants to track him. That's into Michaelis in the channel. Drablos is there, but Michaelis is going to put the pressure on him. And it's going to be a throw-in for Chicago deep inside their own half there at the left of your screen. Johnston against Adeosun. That's not a fight. Johnston wins that clearly in the air. Hallenberger to Galan. Trying to find some room and gets another throw in for the Tigers. Shade under 15 minutes played here in the biggest game of the week in Division 3. Galan into Michaelis inside the area. Hooks it towards Ethan Moore, who flicks it on, but there was no second runner. But a nice idea from Moore and some more nice offensive play by the Tigers. But Katsimpalis, so far, without too much stress in the Chicago goal. Header from Vanderlee. Here's Mitchell. Vanderlee slips as he tries to turn away from Adeosun, and Adeosun has a chance to run at Masfarhala here. Castillo getting back at him. Does well to hold him up, and Mitchell helping out with the defensive effort. Here's Romero. He's got Holquist coming over on the overlap. That's into the box, and Taylor misses it in the air. Ko with Galan. Throw into Chicago. Corgi in towards Adeosun, and Castillo is there to head it away. Romero is lurking as well. Ethan Moore leads the breakout for the Tigers, but Chicago have 6 back and the Tigers only have 4 in the attack. Here's Moore looking cross field to Hallenberger. He takes a touch with his left foot, and Johnston supports him underneath. Pressured by Lopez, who's been everywhere for Chicago so far. Lopez driving at Cano. Puts a step over on, trying to find space on his right side. Into Matt Coe. Galan has to deal with him here and does do very, very well. Well done, Jacob Galan there on Matt Coe. Stopping him from turning back onto his left foot. Johnston tries to fire one forward, but Litch gets a touch. Hallenberger through the midfield, and that's going to be a foul against Hallenberger on Capitosto. Here is Drablos to take the free kick. Noise from the Tiger bench coming in as Sam Drablos, the junior, also from Austin, Texas, is going to take this free kick. There is Drablos towards the backside, and Lopez in the air. Adeosun's in again! It's 2-0 to Chicago. Max Lopez with another essential part of his play. Lopez with the header, and inside 17 minutes here, the University of Chicago have scored twice and lead Trinity 2-0. Tigers having a little bit of a discussion here in the middle of the field as to how they're going to get back into this one. Adeosun with a very nice finish, and Chicago have struck twice in quick succession here in the early going. Tigers back underway. Van der Lee. And that's a nice tackle by Litch, and everything right now is going the way of the Maroons as far as the game. Their bench getting very much into it. Adeosun holds it up on Michaelis. There's Corgi looking forward towards Lopez. Castillo. Chance for the Tigers to break forward here. Michaelis is just behind him. It breaks for Hallenberger, who has Galan streaking forward. Jacob Galan creating space here. Needed options to his right. Found Ethan Moore. Ethan Moore looking for Hallenberger, but Chicago can come away on the break again. Moore. That goes out wide to Adeosun again. Van der Lee. Adeosun finds Romero. Certainly a happy homecoming for him so far. Lopez was in behind there if that one got through, but Masfarhala did the job. Nothing quite going the Tigers' way so far here after the first 5 minutes or so, where they were definitely in the ascendancy. Lots of smiles on the Chicago bench away to my left. Free kick here will be taken by Johnson, native of McLean, Virginia. That's in towards Lopez again, who does well, but is bested in the air that time. That's Corgi, and that one's miles over the bar, a la Lawrence White once upon a time. Taylor to Masfarhala. Here's Van der Lee, one of the captains of the Tigers, trying to lead this team forward here. That one is a handball, it seems, in favor of Chicago as well. Number 3, Sam Drablos, drives that crossfield towards Romero, who's battling with Castillo. Castillo can't quite keep it in play, and it's a throw into Chicago. Masfarhala's misjudged it. Adeosun's in behind here. Chance for 3. Taylor saves. Big save from Caleb Taylor there. Here's Matt Coe though. And the Tigers get away with that one. Masvarhala with the slight misjudgment, and you expected Adeosun to put that one away as well. Taylor coming up huge for the Tigers there with that save. Point blank range. Litch to Capitosto. Hallenberger putting the pressure on. And Johnson. Chicago doing well to evade the pressure. Here's Adeosun out to Scott Litch on the right-hand side. He finds Coe again. Corgi finds Coe. That one is swung out to the left-hand side, and Carter Romero, who's gone into the middle now, leaves space for Holquist. And it's going to be a goal kick, apparently, coming off Holquist. The Chicago players not convinced by that, but the Tigers will certainly take it right now in this early 2-0 hole here with about a quarter of the game played. Chicago breaking forward again. Adeosun through the middle, and Taylor is just able to get there, but hits it straight to Coe. Galan comes back at him. Coe with the left-footed cross towards the back post. It drops there, and it's going to be a foul on Romero as he challenges Castillo. Mitchell challenges, and referee looked like he was going to give a foul there, but nothing doing. Johnston drives forward. He's pulled back by Corgi as he tries to get Michaelis in behind. Nothing given. Hallenberger pressuring Litch. Down there, and Cano and Masvarhala able to deal with it. He feeds to the goalkeeper Taylor. Masvarhala driving forward. Switches the point of the attack to Cano. Bounces up on him a little bit. He decides he's going to drive on. Now has Vanderlee ahead of him. Lopez cuts an imposing figure there, comes over to help out. Mitchell takes a touch away from Litch, who was definitely grabbing at him. But that's Galan to Johnston. Johnston into Hallenberger, and the tackles continue to fly in here. It's been a physical game so far as Hallenberger clatters into Adeosun. And it's a free kick to Chicago. Drablos to Johnson, and here comes the first change of the night for Chicago, and it is the highly talented freshman Jorge Branco from Sao Paulo, Brazil, who will come into the game. He comes with a very big reputation, a very talented attacking midfielder from Brazil. That one from Taylor goes long, and Johnson and Drablos just about combine to get rid of it. Michaelis is challenged by Drablos again, who wins the header. Coe taps it beautifully over Vanderlee, and Adeosun is attacking. Romero streaking through the middle. Castillo has to get there, and eventually Taylor does very nicely to sweep it up and hammer it upfield towards Capitosto. Johnson gets there, but it goes back to the Chicago back four, who have been in pretty fine form so far in this first half. Corgi, far side to Lopez, who flicks it forward. Castillo to Taylor, and he's cleared that one right against Lopez, and it'll be a goal kick. Here comes Jorge Branco in place of Matthew Coe. Chicago making changes 25 minutes into this one. Here's Roman Cano, the transfer from the University of the Incarnate Word, just across the road here in San Antonio. Taylor gives it back to him. Cano looking for Mitchell. Header won by Johnson. And it appears there's going to be A foul called here on Chicago. A little bit surprised by that one. Couldn't tell where that came from. Hallenberger will take the free kick. Here's Hallenberger sizing this one up with his left foot. Can the Tigers stay on side? Flicked on by Moore and eventually hacked away there. I think that might even have been Lopez back there defending for Chicago. He's caused so many problems in the attack, but equally effective with his big frame at the back. Moore, pressured by Capitosto, does well to hold him off. And here's Van der Lee. Castillo. Van der Lee hooks that one forward, but nothing doing. And it looks like the Tigers about to make a couple of changes here with Andrea Codespoti and Liam Looney set to come in for the Tigers. And in fact, Ryan Hunter as well. So a triple sub coming for the Tigers as they try to get back in this game. That's a great tackle by Castillo. And it goes out off Lopez, for a throw-in. Here's Michaelis. He had one man on his back and one man in front and wasn't able to do anything there. Good header by Lopez. He's winning everything in the air right now. Ethan Moore trying to create something for the Tigers. He is a mercurial talent, but yet to really be able to run free tonight. Wesley Mitchell recovers the ball. Michaelis. Van der Lee trying to find a pass here to Hallenberger. Here's Michaelis himself. Chance for the Tigers here potentially. Hallenberger. Well done, Johnson there for Chicago, sweeping that one up as it looked like the Tigers might just be about to get in behind for the first time. Subs come in here. And it's going to be Looney for Johnston, Codespoti for Moore, and Hunter for Mitchell. As we get a look there at Andrea. Moore and Mitchell coming out. 17 minutes to go to half-time here. Trinity will know anything's possible, but certainly a goal before the half-time would really help them in getting back in this game. That's a loose touch by Michaelis, and Chicago set off on the break immediately. Here's Branco. Bit more possession there. And that one goes forward to Romero. Adeosun. Touch round the corner from Lopez to Corgi, and here's Branco out wide right. Litch looking for a cross into the box. He finds one. It stood up there, flicked away by Masvar Haller, and Hallenberger completes the clearance, but only as far as Corgi. That one is all the way through to Taylor, thankfully for the Tigers. Jonah Moore and Bryce Millington about to come in for Chicago as well. Numbers 22 and 21 stood right here in front of me right now. Here's Codespoti. Interesting fact about him, his elder brother played for the Chicago Maroons a couple of years back. Here's Ryan Hunter down the left-hand channel, managing to stay on side. Hunter with a left-footed cross into the middle, but no one in there. And it's easy for Katsimpalis, but a nice idea from Hunter in his first involvement off the bench. Looney stepping forward to try and combat Holquist. Romero, who's been very impressive here in the early goings. Codespoti now forward, and it goes back to Romero. Cutting into the midfield, tracked by Looney. He spins and turns and uses his fast feet to find Holquist again. Van der Lee steps in, but the bounce falls Chicago's way momentarily, and Castillo gives that one away, and here is the changes for Chicago. So Millington in for Lopez. Looks like Millington will go straight up front and match up with Masvar Haller. And Holquist is replaced by Moore. Excuse me, Romero replaced by Moore. Cano driving forward from centre back. finds Michaelis, who sidesteps one but can't get past Moore, who's just checked into the game. Adeosun tries to put a spin on, somehow maintains possession, but Michaelis finally gets back at him and is fouled by Adeosun. Cano in towards Hallenberger, had to reach for that one. The press came from Chicago quickly. Header from Drablos out towards Branco, who flicks it on into the middle. Kodaspoti touches it away from Adeosun. He's now pressured from behind by Millington, but Kodaspoti continues to drive forward. Has a man out to his right. That is Ryan Hunter into the box and deflected behind for the third Trinity corner of the game, as the Tigers try to give their fans, who have shown up in number tonight, something to cheer about as they search for a way back into the game. Looney, Masvarhala and Van der Lee are the obvious targets for height here. Looks like they're going to play it short to Ryan Hunter. He taps it short for Hallenberger to deliver. Didn't get enough height on it and it's cleared away. Castillo will touch it down and we'll go back to Taylor, who asks Galan to pull out for him. Galan on the left-hand side. Taylor now looks to go forward, and he does in the general vicinity of Hunter. Flicks it forward. Drablos shows nice composure there. That one holds up in the wind. Van der Lee beaten to it by Branco. Millington heads it down to him. And Branco finds a pass inside. And that is a lovely idea from Capitosto out to the left-hand side, where Jonah Moore is matched up with Castillo. And this one's going to go in favor of the Tigers for a throw-in out on the far side. Another sub coming for Trinity here is Philip Dueñas, the spark plug of a first-year forward, set to check in, wearing number 36 on his back. Hunter may have handled that one, but the referee gives him the benefit of the doubt. Ryan Hunter creating something here. Kodaspoti down the right-hand channel, in fact. Good tackle, though, by Drablos. Kodaspoti comes flying in. That one's going to stay in play as Moore is clattered by Looney. And Tigers just searching for something to give them some momentum here. You would expect it'll be Dueñas for Michaelis. In fact, it'll be for Hallenberger. So Dueñas coming into the game here as Branco matches up with Galan. Galan and Hallenberger down this left-hand side started brightly, but have not been able to really get in recent minutes. That's a great ball out to Adeosun. Millington is in the middle for him. Cano coming out to try and shield him. Adeosun to the edge of the box, and Capitosto has plenty of space and time. Michaelis with a fantastic recovery run to block that shot. Hunter touches it past number 5, Holquist, but Chicago get the ball back. Here's Corgi. Branco has Millington in the middle and Adeosun to his right. That one's towards Millington, but Taylor will come out and claim. And another sub for the Tigers as well. It's going to be number 37, the first year from Scotland, Fraser Burns, into the game as well. Trinity trying to create something with some fresh legs here as the half comes to a close. 11 minutes to go till half time. Van der Lee. Cano back to him. Van der Lee tries to chip one forward for Hunter, but it's well seen by Nate Johnson. Liam Looney now with his left foot out towards Castillo, pushes him back slightly. Castillo drives forward, finds Kodaspoti inside. He's looking into the box with that left-footed cross. It's flicked on and not cleared. Hallenberger has a chance here against Lich. See what he can do. Left-footed Hallenberger drives into the box, into the middle, hits Katsimpalis' hand. Kodaspoti tries to attack it. Here's Galan. Galan takes the shot, and it's wide of the left-hand post as Hallenberger creates something nice for the Tigers there. Fraser Burns and Philip Dueñas will enter here for Austin Michaelis and Jacob Hallenberger. So a triple sub for Chicago as well. As Vicente Mateus, Ben Brandt, and number 12, Josh Schofield, are all set to take their bow as well. Well headed there by Ryan Hunter, but that one's hit forward Masvalhalla has to go back and challenge Millington. Looney is underneath this one. He's surely pushed in the back there, but nothing given. Cano bravely wins that one. That's Capitosto out to the right and Branco. Galan is with him, and well played by Jacob Galan in the battle of the number 25s. He wins that one. He sets a ball forward looking for Dueñas, but Drablos is calm and able just to shepherd that one out. It's been a almost complete performance here from Chicago in the first half. Trinity creating opportunities, but not yet able to find a breakthrough as Corgi, Adeosun both come out. Mateusz in the middle. Millington flicks that one on, and here is Mateusz with his first touch. Loses out to Dueñas there, who does a nice job and feeds it back to Masvalhalla. He sends a diagonal ball forward in the general vicinity of Fraser Burns, but it'll be Andrea Codaspoti who puts the pressure on there. That one is hooked clear by Holquist, and it will fall for a Tiger throw-in. Castillo into Looney, who has plenty of time to turn, and Galan away to his left. Instead comes back to his right for Van der Lee. He is not quick enough with his feet. Great recovery tackle though there on Jonah Moore on the far side. Van der Lee. Dueñas beaten to it. Castillo under pressure, and Masvalhalla has to hammer it clear. Codaspoti does a really nice job there holding it up, and it'll fall here to Ryan Hunter. He's got Burns on his right. Instead tries to feed it centrally to Codaspoti, and too many bodies there as number 7, Ben Brandt, breaks away with it. Millington down the left-hand channel. Masvalhalla over in covering. He's got Mateusz in the middle, but instead decides to play the safe pass back to Holquist. Now here's Holquist. Chicago with the clear advantage in both shots and on goal here in the first half. This is Drablos. Capitosto, and now Mateusz, but Looney does well to get stuck in there. Dueñas loses out to Capitosto, but it falls to Hunter. Tries to play it forward to Codaspoti, and Chicago's midfield pressure is disrupting the Tigers' ability to build out of the back. Here's Vicente Mateusz. And he's just going to overhit that one, looking for Millington down the right. 7 minutes to the half. Still Trinity 0, Chicago 2. Lopez and Adeosun with the goals inside of the first 20 minutes of play. Castillo driving down the right-hand side. That's Burns now. Burns tries to feed it into Dueñas. Nothing doing there. Van der Lee puts his body on the line. Looney gets clattered, and that'll be a free kick to Trinity. I think it was Ben Brandt there who followed through with the challenge. So the Tigers have a chance to put one in the box here. It'll be Andrea Codaspoti with the left foot who will look to bend this one in. He's going to try and put this in an area where if it misses everyone, it could end up going in at the back post. Codaspoti will swing it in. It's got good shape on it, but it's too close to Katsimpalis. And that's easy for the Chicago keeper, the native of Michigan. Katsimpalis will usher his defenders up and roll it out to himself so he can clear it upfield. Now here's a chance. Mateusz through the middle. Masvalhalla needs to get there. He doesn't do, but well covered there by Galan. Masvalhalla hits the deck. Play on, says the referee. In fact, instead, now he's decided it is a foul. Chicago still continuing to put pressure on the Tigers, though. Cano. Galan behind him and goes back to him. Galan to Cano. Van der Lee trying to find space in the middle. Chicago not pressing super quickly, but stopping the Tigers from building. And Looney there flicks one with the outside of his foot nicely to Burns. Burns can play Castillo down the right. He feeds Hunter, and now Rodrigo Castillo can go again if he can get there, but it's just half a yard ahead of him. And that is perhaps a resemblance of the first half of the Tigers here. Half a yard off on a couple of things and not able to get enough going towards Katsimpalis' goal. Looney wins the header. Kodespoti hacked away there, and Branco is underneath it. Galan putting pressure on and does well to press him back. Galan able to steal the ball, and it's still there for Trinity as Dueñas goes flying in, but Branco does come away with it. Here is Mateusz, and Chicago with a chance to go forward. Millington pulls out to the right. He has Branco on the overlap as Galan makes the recovery run, in fact. Headed away from Castillo. Hunter back to Looney. Mateusz puts pressure on him. Looney uses his body well to hold him off. And Masvarhala can feed it out to Burns on the right-hand side. That's better from the Tigers. Fraser Burns moving forward with this. Looks for a scoop pass to Dueñas, but it comes off the head of Nate Johnson and will go behind for a Tiger corner here with a shade under 4 minutes to go. Chicago yet to have a corner, but Trinity with 4, certainly hoping to make more of this one than they have of the first 3. We've got Castillo and Hallenberger back deep, marking Branco for Chicago. This will be swung in by Kodespoti. Over the top, and Cano coming in, and it's there! Trinity are back in it. It's headed in, I think, by Vetla Masvarhala. And Roman Cano's header across goal led to Vetla Masvarhala putting it in. And Trinity are on the board here. And what a time to get it right before the half. 3 minutes till half time. Trinity 1, Chicago 2. It's a great corner from Kodespoti. Cano just outjumps his man, and there is Masvarhala in the middle of the goal to get one back for the Tigers. Superbly done by them. Vanderlee rallying his troops, and Trinity are back in it there with the header from Masvarhala. Katsimpalis and Vanderlee got into a bit of afters from that, but the Tigers are on the board. The set piece finally plays dividends, and Trinity are back in this one. Looney with a touch down, and Capitosto is there to sweep it up. Trinity with a little bit of momentum here and would love to try and get another shot or two on goal before the half. That's Johnson on the ball. Dueñas closes him down, and it goes out left to Holquist. He's looking for more. Millington pressures Masvarhala, and that one actually deflects off Ben Brandt. And now the bounces are starting to go the way of the Tigers. Momentarily lost our scoreboard at the top, but you can still see the clock there. Dueñas tangling with Holquist. Looks like he might have been fouled. It's Kodespoti in the middle as Burns gets a cross in. Andrea Kodespoti hooks it forward. Liam Looney wins a header on the edge. It's back in there towards Hunter, but Katsimpalis has gone, and he's dropped it. Did it go in? The goalkeeper there, as the crowd and the players go crazy. Aaron Katsimpalis nearly with a howler to bring the Tigers level, and all of a sudden the momentum is with the Tigers here. No idea how that would have maybe crossed the line. Katsimpalis maybe lost it in the lights following the very soft header from Looney. We'll see if we have a camera angle of that. I'm not entirely sure. We had a similar incident in the girls' game earlier today where Katie Paith looked like she might have scored a goal, but it wasn't given as it didn't appear to cross the line. Mateusz spins out and finds Ben Brandt. The only thing the Tigers really have to be careful of here is not overcommitting in their search for the equalizer. Plenty of time left in this game. 45 minutes plus to play. Castillo heads it up to Burns. Here's Dueñas. The touch to Looney has just evaded him, and Brandt able to sweep up. Here's Cano. Cano to Dueñas. Cano driving through the midfield here. He's leading the Tiger resurgence. He's got Fraser Burns to his right as Trinity feeling it now. That's in towards Dueñas. Lined up the volley but didn't make contact. Great idea from the first year. Looney slides in, but the Tigers need to make sure they don't overcommit. Offside. Millington is on, in fact, as Masvarhala wanted the flag. Castillo played him on.
1 minute.
Far side is Brandt. And that's Moore. Chicago may be deciding now that they'll be quite happy to take this lead into the break. Here come the Tigers though. Liam Looney has Galan out to his left. He's been completely full of energy this entire first half. Galan cuts inside in towards Branko, and Mateusz is there to stop the ball getting to Looney. He's played a lovely ball to Branko. Chicago looking to have the final attack of this half. Van der Lee does the right thing there in taking the yellow card for the Tigers. A definite yellow, but Van der Lee noticed the danger and decided he was not going to let them get through. That will, however, stop the clock and allow Chicago one last chance to dump the ball into the box with 16 seconds to play. The Tigers will be glad that the dangerous Max Lopez is not on the field right now. Well, we promised you goals back home, and with 16 seconds to go in the first half, we have had 3. Branko curls that one in, headed away, and Dueñas should be able to complete the clearance. 10 seconds to go. Branko hammers it forward. Millington will run out into the right-hand channel, but that should be enough for the Tigers here to see it to half-time. Whipped in there, and Burns is able to get it away just about. And what a first half of action we've had here on the Tiger Network. We are into half-time here. Chicago stunning the Tigers with 2 early goals following a bright start from the home team. But the subs in the later part of the half giving the Tigers a lift. Fraser Burns, Coda Spoti, Dueñas, and it was Roman Cano's header from Coda Spoti's corner that was turned home by Vetla Masvarhala. And at half-time here on the Tiger Network, it is 2-1 in favor of the Maroons over the Tigers. You can see the shots on goal advantage for Chicago, but Trinity coming back into it late in the half, and 4 corner kicks in favor of the Tigers, not 1 for Chicago, and one of those led to the Vetla Masvarhala goal. So we'll step aside for about 14 more minutes here on the Tiger Network and be back with you for the second half of this game. We promised you entertainment, we promised you goals, and it's delivered so far. Don't go anywhere. See you very soon on the Tiger Network.
Follow the path that empowers you to be your best self. Surround yourself with people who embrace your quirks, who don't settle, who seek a life without regret, who know how to win, but aren't afraid to fail. Be part of an elite network with those who know what success is all about. Be brave enough to have a fulfilled life. Trinity University. Discover, grow, become.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here on the Tiger Network. About 90 seconds left of the halftime break as we are set to go again here on the Tiger Network. Just looking at these first half stats again, 8-7 advantage in terms of shots for Chicago, but a 5-3 advantage shots on goal as well. Taylor made 3 saves for the Tigers and Katsimpalis had 2 for the Maroons. Pretty even in terms of fouls. It's been a hotly contested game as expected. And the Tigers with that 4-0 corner kick lead, which is obviously what led to their goal back into this game. We got about a minute left in halftime. We'll see if we can take a look back at these goals real quick. As the Tigers appear to be starting with a very similar lineup. Here is the opener. This is Carter Romero breaking down the left-hand side and a lovely cross into Lopez, who got a fantastic touch on that one to give Chicago the lead. That was 1-0 after what was a bright start from the Tigers. And then this second one, Lopez with a good header over Masvalhala and Adeosun, beating Taylor to the ball and swiping it home for the 2-0 advantage. But right before the halftime interval, Trinity back on terms. Back in the game and hoping to get back on terms. Andrea Codaspoti with the driven corner. Cano outjumps Capitosto and Masvalhala is there in the middle of the goal to bring the Tigers back into the game. Chicago now going from right to left on your screen. It will be Lopez back into the game to start this second half. And we are ready to go. Trinity with a change in goal. Blake Lieberman is now in goal for the Tigers for this second half. That's a ball forward for Lopez to chase early against Cano, and Cano does well against him. And the Tigers keep possession. It goes back to Lieberman. Adeosun putting the pressure on. Here is Cano. Lopez deciding he wants to press this time as well, and that one's going to be a Trinity throw following the deflection off Max Lopez, who 23 goals last season, a senior this year from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Certainly looks like one hell of a player following his first half performance. That's Cano sliding in, trying to set Michaelis away. One in the air by Johnston. Johnson and Drablos winning lots in the air during the first half. Brady Johnston, however, winning that one for the Tigers, and Drablos just shepherds it out for a throw-in for Chicago. They're managing the game nicely when they can. 44 minutes to go for the Tigers to try and find a goal here to get them back in the game. That's a foul, surely, as Codaspoti was breaking down the left-hand side, and the crowd really getting into it here as Hallenberger will look to serve this one in. Masvalhala and Cano trotting forward again as Codaspoti was taken down there by the challenge from, I think it was Litch. Hallenberger is actually going to be called off it here, and it'll be Quentin van der Lee with the right foot who's going to swing this one in for the Tigers. Trinity trying to get a good start to the second half here. Matthew Coe is the lone man up front for Chicago right now. Van der Lee into the middle. Chance, and the header is over from Johnston. A great ball in from Van der Lee and just over the bar from Brady Johnston as the Tigers try and find their way back into this game. It's, as we take another look at this one, Van der Lee's chip and Johnston with the header just over the bar. Capitosto. He has a man out here, that's Holquist. He takes a nice touch inside and Lopez leaves it for Capitosto to send it forward, I think hoping that Carter Romero was going to get there. Well played by Castillo, back to Lieberman, who calls his men off wide and hits that one over Adeosun, but in the general vicinity of Litch. It comes off the Chicagoan. This will be Galan's throw in to Cano. He finds it back to Jacob Galan, the first year, who was a high school player of the year in San Antonio last year. Here's Castillo. Romero puts the pressure on him and gets a foot in nicely. Wesley Mitchell playing on the right-hand side to start this half. And that's going to go in favor of the Tigers for the throw-in. Van der Lee gives it to Castillo. In towards Coda Spoti, but swept up there by Capitosto, who is everywhere. That's Corgi. He plays it to the right-hand side, and Galan pressures Ko, but Ko is able to turn. Faced up and tries to send one forward for Lopez, but Lieberman will sweep it up. Back at the back for Trinity. Masvarhala with the ball at his feet, feeds it inside to Johnston. Lots of time to turn. Sends it to the left, and Jacob Galan, he can drive forward here. We saw him do this to great effect on Friday night as he found the goal. That one is through. Jacob Hallenberger on his right foot. Chance for Hallenberger. Mitchell. Trinity bodies flying everywhere. Brady Johnson is down on the deck. Not sure exactly how that one didn't end up in the back of the net. Hallenberger was so close for the Tigers. Johnston here took a big knock. I think he might have hit his head on the turf as he landed. But he is up and running. And it'll be Chicago. We'll get the ball back from Coda Spoti. But a good start to the second half here for the Tigers as they try and find their way back into the game. That one's going to go out for a throw in to Trinity. Michaelis flicks it down the line for Coda Spoti. He looks like he's really got the bit between his teeth now. Coda Spoti inside, but it's just off the foot of Hallenberger and through to Katsimpalis. But more good attacking pressure from the Tigers here. And the bench away to my right responding in kind as Adeosun tried to check short for that one. Katsimpalis ignores him and instead finds it to Drablos. Michaelis will shift over as it goes to Nate Johnson here. Johnson and Johnston proving a bit of a tongue twister for me. Mitchell pressures that one. That one comes off the head of Masvarhala, and thankfully for the Tigers as Adeosun was looking to get him behind there. Van der Lee has fouled Adeosun. And Van der Lee has to be careful here in the second half after that yellow card at the end of the first. This is a lovely touch from Adeosun, and Van der Lee flicks it. Van der Lee with the foul. Swung in by Adeosun. Towards the back post, it misses everyone and will be out for a goal kick for the Tigers. Lieberman with a chance to clear it here, and he obliges. Coda Spoti can't challenge Corgi, and here's Ko. Ko out to Litch. Litch into the middle towards Lopez, who gets a touch on it. Carter Romero blazes that over, and he will want that one back. A great chance for Chicago to restore their 2-goal lead. Romero with that one over the bar on his left foot. That's where he would have wanted it. Lieberman will take the goal kick as he orders the Tiger defense to step up a little bit and push Chicago back. This one goes out to the left-hand side, and Johnston does well to keep it in play, but maybe it benefits Chicago in actual fact. Masvarhala against Lopez. That's flicked forward towards Romero, and Adeosun is onto it. Adeosun with a chance with a left-footed shot to the back post, and it just evades Carter Romero, who was there coming in to try and turn it home. Here's Van der Lee. Lieberman. Masvarhala chips it over Adeosun. And Castillo and Mitchell have a discussion about who wants to take it, and it's Wesley Mitchell, number 23 on his back. Sophomore from the Houston area. That's Vanderlee out to Hallenberger on the left. Lots of noise coming from the fans in attendance. Cano to Masfarhala. He sends it out to the right, and Castillo. Castillo drives forward, but a nice tackle there by Isaiah Holquist puts an end to Castillo's driving run. Here's Vanderlee with the ball at his feet, tries a chip in behind for Michaelis. Just able to get a touch on it, but it appears this one will go out for a goal kick, although Corgi clearly thought that might have come off his defender as he puts it out for a throw into the Tigers deep in Trinity territory here. Castillo with the throw in. Looks to find Mitchell, but only finds the outstretched foot of Holquist. That could have been a foul on Vanderlee, and in fact is. Adeosun jumping in on that one. And with just under 10 minutes played in the second half, Trinity have another free kick here. And this one could be Andrea Codispoti to put this one in with his left foot. Katsimpalis talking to Romero and Adeosun, building the wall. Codispoti trying to line this one up. Chance for this one to maybe sneak in at the back post again. Let's see what Codispoti can do. He drives it forward. Katsimpalis coming for it and does well there. Claims it and looks to set Chicago away on the counter. Galan will step in nicely to deny Adeosun any space. Lopez hammers it away, but it falls only to Mitchell, who's able to feed Hallenberger, but he lets it go. Galan pressured by Lopez again, and Chicago able to scramble it away as Adeosun looks set to break for them. He tries to play one in behind for Matthew Coe. Cano in the vicinity, and that will go in favor of Chicago as a throw-in on the far side. It's an end-to-end battle right now, and you feel like that's how it's going to be for most of this second half. Edge of the box, Renato Corgi, plenty of space on the left here for Holquist. Johnston coming out to him. He cuts into his right foot, lines it up towards the back post, and Lieberman does very well there with a two-handed punch to get that one away. That's from Hallenberger over the top, looking for Michaelis. Drablos can't clear it. Michaelis careens into Johnson there, and that's definitely going to be a foul. Lieberman here with a superb read of the situation. Lopez was there, ready to head it home, and Lieberman just able to use his fists to turn the ball away for the Tigers. More and more fans continuing to file into Paul McGinley Soccer Field here. Clearly word has spread about the exciting game going on as we take a look at the fouls statistic here. 8 apiece, so allegedly been called right down the middle by the official, who I think's done a fairly good job so far tonight. Brady Johnston gets up. That one is touched forward, and Vanderlee is put under pressure. That's going to be a foul against Renato Corgi, I think for the high arm there on Vanderlee. Adeosun tries to stop the Tigers from taking it quickly and succeeds, but is told to vacate his position by the referee. Masfarhala with this free kick. It goes forward in the vicinity of Codispoti. He can't win the flick on, but it falls towards Michaelis, and it's hacked away by Holquist up towards Lopez. Masfarhala does win this one. Vanderlee challenges Lopez again, but Adeosun is there, and Vanderlee does very well to come away with that ball. Hallenberger on the left for him. He pulls out wide. That's fed into Codispoti, who tries to touch and go. Instead, it'll be Michaelis who steps in to claim it. Hallenberger to Johnston. Johnston. Vanderlee was just a little bit on his heels, and it's a nice step there by Renato Corgi to clear that one away. That one is headed away by Nico Capitosto. A couple of very nice names on this Chicago team, Capitosto and Corgi, just two of them. Mitchell bodies Carter Romero up and is able to win a throw-in for the Tigers off the sliding Nate Johnson, who, despite standing at only 5'10", plays like someone with a much larger frame. He's been everywhere in the air tonight. Mitchell, Romero, and that's going to be a corner for the Tigers as Wesley Mitchell uses his body to get the better of Romero for the second time in about 30 seconds here. Hallenberger will take it. The Tigers have looked dangerous from set pieces so far. And we'll see what Hallenberger can do with this one. Hallenberger towards Mitchell. Heads it on. Vanderlee is going to be called for a foul, surely. And indeed, yes. Vanderlee absolutely just clattered into him. I think Chicago are asking how many he's allowed after his first yellow card. And Vanderlee certainly needing to be careful here. Can't afford to be sent off with half an hour left in this game. Trinity with plenty of time and a good bit of momentum. This is broken down into a real battle where you feel the next goal could be crucial in the outcome of this game. Galan defending Ko. Ko drives to the end line, gets a nice cross in, and that's Wesley Mitchell who's going to put it behind for a corner for Chicago for their first of the night. And perhaps just Lieberman told him, be safe, put it behind. And that's what Mitchell did. And we'll see what Chicago do with their first corner of the evening. Trinity need to be switched on here. Lopez, as we've seen, certainly a big threat in the air. That's in low. Johnston misses his kick, but Vetla Masvarhala is there to save it. Michaelis does very well coming short to get it. He finds Hallenberger, and he's got... Oh, Kodaspodi was breaking away to his left. Lopez, though, turns it. Chance here. Real chance. It's 3-1 Chicago. Matthew Ko has put it away, and the Tigers were trying to break out and were caught at their own end as Matt Ko gets on the board for the second straight game this season. And it's 3-1 to the University of Chicago here. Lopez this time turns provider. Romero let it go. And Matthew Ko put it in for Chicago to send their traveling fans wild. Ben Brandt back into the game, it appears. But again, after a bright start from Trinity, Chicago get the goal. And that was the same way in the first half, as they take the lead here by 3-1. And Trinity are back in the 2-goal hole. Capitosto and Ko being replaced here. Ko having done his job, tucking that one away with his left foot under Lieberman. Hallenberger on the ball now. Trinity in need of a quick response here as the clock ticks down to 30 minutes remaining. Drablos. Wesley Mitchell putting the pressure on here. And Mitchell doing well. Mitchell steals it away from Holquist. Mitchell into the box, trying to find room for a cross. Holquist stays with him. Mitchell wriggling through, somehow still on the ball. Big tackle, nothing given by the referee. And Brandt takes it away. Chicago on the break as Lopez plays it to Brandt. Rodrigo Castillo needing to get back. Chicago smelling a chance for a fourth here. Galan. And that's Lopez who's just shuttled well there. Chicago actually made another change. I missed Kyle Rourke coming into the game for the first time tonight, number 24 on the right-hand side. And as the clock is stopped with 29:46 to play, there's going to be a discussion here between the officials. And Wesley Mitchell is still down behind the goal away to my right. Trinity desperate for something to go their way right now as they search for a way back into this game. Coach McGinley away to my right, very unhappy with that decision as we take a look back here at the penalty claim. Mitchell wriggling through and, oh, it's a crunching tackle. You've got to say that looks like a penalty. It's a tough one there. It's hard to see if he wins the ball or not. For sure, he took a piece of Mitchell's leg, and Mitchell now still down behind the goal, getting some treatment from our trainer, Megan McCaffrey. Trying to take another look at this one here. As Mitchell comes in. It's a hard tackle, and it's above the ball. There's an argument for a card there, even on top of giving the penalty. Tough to see why the referee's not decided to give a penalty there. But it remains 3-1 following Matt Ko's goal. Here's Kano. Back to Lieberman. Masfar Hala will carry it forward for the Tigers in a slightly wider position than he usually would, but he sends that one. Kodespoti able to turn on it. Very nicely done by him. Good hold-up play. He can try and find Hallenberger on the edge of the box. Jacob Hallenberger driving inside. Potentially shouts there. Nothing given again. That one looked like less of a penalty to me. Ryan Hunter is in for Wesley Mitchell as he challenges there. Ben Brandt, and that's an absolute clattering by Brady Johnston. He absolutely clatters one of the Chicago players. Scott Litch here, and this is getting out of hand real quick here as players and officials try to separate the teams here. Katsimpalis, the goalkeeper, is getting involved for what feels like a completely nonsensical reason for him to run that far out of the goal, but it was a definite foul by Johnston, who's going to go into the book here. The question is, will there be anything else from either team? Tigers needing to get a hold of things here, and there's discussion between the referee and his two assistants as to what exactly is going to happen here after a real fire-up following that foul from Johnston on Litch, I think it was. Indeed. Yeah, no, it's Drablos, in fact. And then Galan kind of clattered Ruark as it came in. Litch came charging in to have a go at Johnston, and appears that there'll be a yellow card assessed. I have no idea who that was to. That might have been Lopez, and it's also Brady Johnston. We'll have to get a clarification on that. I'm pretty sure it was Johnston and Lopez. It appears it was number 9 for Chicago, Max Lopez, who gets the card. So it appears, after discussion between the two coaching staffs, it was Lopez, number 9, with the card for Chicago, and Brady Johnston, number 14, for the Tigers. Johnston wins that header, an instant response as Trinity trying to fire up the crowd here. Hallenberger down the left-hand side to Kodespoti, but Drablos is there again to swoop it up. Kano is under a bit of pressure here, and Lopez is pressuring him nicely. Lieberman sends Vetla Masfarhala out to his right and goes back to Kano on the left instead. Kano forward, but that one drops straight to Corgi in the midfield. Johnston wins another header. Corgi able to swing it out to the left-hand side, and Romero is putting Castillo under pressure. Castillo has shorted it, but Lieberman there with the save. I think I'm thinking Brady Johnston's everywhere right now, and Blake Lieberman does a great job there with that pass. Ryan Hunter, a bit deeper than the Tigers will want him. Castillo finds Hunter again, and he plays it forward, but only to Nate Johnson. There's Castillo. Corgi to Lopez, who touches it over the head of Vanderlee for Brandt. This is Romero. Brandt again. Chicago playing some nice football here and passing it around the Tiger press. They've looked very composed since the third goal went in. That's Ruark. Here's Corgi, tries the diagonal ball out to the right, and Litch, thankfully for the Tigers, Brady Johnson is there to sweep up. Michaelis can't beat Drablos to it, and Adeosun is beaten to it by Castillo. Masfarhala drops the shoulder and maintains possession for the Tigers. Johnston gives it back to him. Johnston turns out, and here's Vanderlee. Vanderlee tries to send one over the top for Ryan Hunter. Litch is back there, and he'll probably try and shepherd this one out, but instead plays it forward to Rourke, who is able to get away. And Adeosun is free in the middle. Vanderlee doesn't quite get a piece of that, and Lopez streaks away from him. Chicago potentially in again here, but Masfarhala does very well to control that one. It goes long from Masfarhala. And Kodespoti charges down that one. Lopez back to Holquist. Holquist with the throw in here. Tigers looking for something to get them back into the game. Hunter charges it down, but it goes to Lopez. Vanderlee oversells a little bit, but Johnston sticks a leg out to win it back. Here is Kodespoti. A bit of a loose touch, but he finds Michaelis. Hunter's streaking down the right-hand side if he can find him. Millington is preparing to come back in for Chicago. Michaelis going towards Corgi, who does very nicely there to defend the absolutely rapid Austin Michaelis. Masvalhalla goes into the back of Lopez, but nothing's given there. Here's Cano. Vanderlee. Masvalhalla again. That's forward towards Hunter. There's a challenge on the back of Hunter, and it looks like that'll go out for a goal kick for Chicago. Bryce Millington will check in here, just over 25 minutes to play. And Lopez, who has been absolutely superb today, a goal and 2 assists for him. He will take a well-earned rest here. Trinity preparing a sub as well, as Josh Davis is set to check in. And it'll be... So Vetler comes out and Josh Davis goes in at right back. That'll push Jacob Galan and Roman Kano into the middle of the defense with Rodrigo Castillo at left back. Johnston gets a head on it. Here's Vanderlee. Adeosun putting him under some pressure. Vanderlee sends it nicely outside to Castillo, who's just switched sides. Full of running as ever. Rodrigo Castillo down towards the byline, but a very nice tackle by Scott Litch. Castillo comes back at him. Nothing given on that challenge. Here's Johnston on the edge of the box. Space for the shot! Deflected wide. Brady Johnston lets one go, and the Tigers feeling some momentum, trying to get back into this. Nice drive by Johnston, certainly around the edge of the area. We saw Friday night, his blast against Rutgers Newark that got things going for the Tigers. Johnston definitely has the ability to pull that kind of shot off. Hallenberger will take the corner. It's in towards the near post. Kodespodi's in there. Katsimpalis gets a block on it. Brady Johnston with the bicycle kick. Didn't really make contact on it. Hunter challenges Millington. Josh Davis gets a head on it, and it'll be Castillo on the left side, pressured by Ruor. Can't give it away there, Rodrigo Castillo, and it will be a throw-in for Chicago. Another substitution for them, as it looks like Renato Corgi will take a break. And Nico Zappa, Zappa Costa. He plays for Chelsea. Nico Capitosto back in for Chicago. Trinity searching for anything to give them some hope here with 23 minutes remaining. Some big scores in the EPL today, including Manchester United's 2-0 win over Burnley. Here is Kodespoti, driving forward, takes a shot, but that one's high and wide of Katsimpalis' goal. Austin Michaelis needing to get his Grand Prix style speed going here up front for the Tigers. Hunter and Hallenberger behind him, with Kodespoti helping out as well. That's Vanderlee, touches it down. Hallenberger flicks it around the corner, and here's Kodespoti driving towards goal again. Chance for Andrea Kodespoti, but a nice tackle in the back there, and Drablos sweeps it up. Hallenberger wins it back and goes down and is fouled, and Drablos kicks the ball away, and that will be a yellow card for him as well. So Vanderlee might fancy this one with his right foot. And so Drablos pushes him down and then kicks the ball away, and instantly regretted it, as you can see from that replay there. Drablos with the card there, number 3 for Chicago. Hallenberger and Vanderlee over this free kick. It's a fair distance out, but if anyone can create a piece of magic from this range, it is Jacob Hallenberger, and Vanderlee has a bit of a rocket on his foot as well. Let's see who goes for it. It's Vanderlee! But Katsimpalis sees it the whole way. Nicely on target there. Shot on goal for the Tigers. But it will not be the one they need into the net to bring them back into this one. 22.5 minutes remaining, a quarter of the game. And the Tigers in need of a goal fast. Vanderlee with the ball at his feet, pressured by Adeosun, who has been superb for Chicago tonight. Romero wins that one, and Galan is just beaten to it. Millington has a man streaking to his right. That's Rourke. Rourke has a chance here. Well done by Galan recovering, but Trinity leaving holes in the midfield, throwing men forward in search of a goal to get back in this game. That's Millington on the right-hand side. Has it back for Litch. Litch into the middle, touched on. Adeosun, chance. Lieberman with a great save, keeping Trinity in this game. Vanderlee gets the tackle past Capitosto and sends a lovely crossfield ball to Hallenberger. Can he beat Litch to it? He gets his body in the way and then tries to go down the line. Litch certainly fouls him there, but Hallenberger comes away with it. Driving into the box. A couple of bits of contact there and goes down. Penalty! He's given the penalty. And the referee has given the penalty for the Tigers. Jacob Hallenberger under pressure from Drablos, it looks like, and this time the Tigers have a route back into the game. Clock is stopped, 21 minutes to play. It's Austin Michaelis ready to take this for the Tigers. Chicago not happy with the award. Trinity in desperate need of this one to get back into the game. Katsimpalis was the goalkeeper who was subbed into the National Championship semi-final for Chicago for the penalty shootout. Austin Michaelis, the Tiger captain, looking for his first goal of the season, and Michaelis brings Trinity back in it. It's 3-2, and Katsimpalis shoves Michaelis in goal. Surely something there. Trinity are back in the game, and Katsimpalis is not happy about it. Philip Dueñas back in for the Tigers here. I told you expect fireworks, and what a game we've got on our hands here now. With 20 minutes remaining, Michaelis puts it into the bottom corner, sending the keeper the wrong way. And as Katsimpalis gets up, that's a serious little shove there, but nothing doing. And Dueñas is in. So the Tigers will feel like justice was served. That penalty to me looked a little bit soft in comparison to the first one, the tackle on Wesley Mitchell that we were pretty convinced was a penalty. So the Tigers will feel that they got one of the two they should have had. And all of a sudden, Michaelis' first goal of the season brings the Tigers back into the game. 3-2 with 20 minutes to go here. Do not go anywhere. Michaelis getting some words of encouragement from McGinley down below me. Dueñas is on. Kodespoti and Hunter also in attack as we take another look at the Austin Michaelis penalty into the bottom left-hand corner of the goal. We are back underway here as the crowd are really into this one now. Capitosto looking for Millington, and that's put away by Cano out to the left-hand side. That one's forward. Millington holds it up. Chicago made a couple of changes during that time, and it feels like Trinity have got some momentum. Austin Michaelis has a chance to get in behind here. Holquist is on him, but Michaelis has speed and strength and uses his body well. Goes down the line. Michaelis, challenged by three members of the Chicago team, continues to have the ball, but that's gone against Michaelis. I can't understand how. That was shoulder to shoulder. But Michaelis is putting himself about with 20 minutes to go here in a pivotal game for both these teams, even in the early stages of this season. That's a yellow card for Michaelis. It appears that might be maybe accumulation of fouls. Certainly he's put his body into a couple of situations where maybe it might have been better advised to hold out a little bit. Looks like the Tigers might be readying Ethan Moore and Josh Lai for another change here. Free kick to Chicago. That one goes forward. Johnston is in the vicinity. And Van der Lee takes it down, trying to find someone. Spins away from Ruark and gives it to Castillo. Space on the left for the Tigers. Codespoti ahead of him. Castillo drives forward. That's in towards Dueñas. He's got a chance. Philip Dueñas in the box. Well defended in the end by Drablos, as the nice first year Dueñas trying to find an opening. Codespoti tackled well by Co, and that one will go to Trinity. You can see the fans here feeling just how big a game this is, the likes of which we haven't seen for a little while here at Paul McGinley Soccer Field. The number 3 team in the country, Chicago, coming into town to play number 17 Trinity. Rare home underdogs for the Tigers, and they are trailing 3-2 here with 20 minutes to go. Galan is pressured by Millington, and that's a throw-in for for Trinity off the Chicago man. Davis will take it. Over the head of Hunter. Dueñas puts himself about. That could have been handball, but Dueñas keeps the ball for the Tigers. Here's Ryan Hunter attacking the middle of the goal. He goes down, and another free kick for the Tigers as Ben Brandt is penalized. Ryan Hunter taken down, yeah? Think that looks about right. And Trinity feeling this now. Codespoti looks like he wants a piece of this one. It is much more in shooting range than the Van der Lee one, which he put on target. Johnston also having a discussion with him. But Adeosun, the absolute live wire for Chicago, and Max Lopez, who was an absolute terror up front, looks like he's coming back in, and Renato Corgi as well. What can Andrea Codespoti do with this one? 18.5 minutes to play. Codespoti over the free kick, drills it, he takes a deflection, and hooked away to Co, who touches it round the corner and tries to beat Castillo for pace, and Co has got it. Brandt at the back post, Davis having to track back. Matt Co, well done, Rodrigo Castillo, what a tackle. What a tackle. Codespoti's free kick was not able to make an impact, but Castillo with a huge recovery tackle, as we see here on the replay. Castillo stopping the cross from Co to Ben Brandt, who was streaking down the middle. Josh Davis was backtracking, but I don't know if he would have been able to get there. Millington and now Brandt come out to allow Lopez and Corgi back in. Ruark also out as Adeosun comes back in. 17.5 minutes to go. Trinity looking for inspiration off the bench perhaps. Cano not able to get a touch on that, and Lopez has to give it up to Lieberman, who throws it out to Michaelis on the right hand side. Davis streaking ahead of him. There's lots of energy left in the Tigers yet, and that's going to be a foul against Michaelis, as Jonah Moore did a good job of getting his body in the way. Michaelis can't quite believe it. I think it was probably a foul on overall there. Taking a look in here at the Chicago bench, as their energetic players have been very much in this one. We'll see how the last 20 minutes go here before we pass final judgment on everyone. Lopez with a flick on, and that one goes out for a goal kick. Lieberman will place it down quickly. Galan breaks to the right, but Lieberman will look to send this one longer. Castillo driving forward, tries to feed it to Johnston, but Capitosto has been there again. That's a foul by Capitosto on Castillo, and the Tigers will have another free kick. Sub for the Tigers here, Wesley Mitchell, appears to have recovered from that very heavy tackle and is coming back in, though Castillo, it looks like, maybe suffering with some cramps. Mitchell coming in for Michaelis, who it appears, Michaelis is taking a water break, and I'm going to have to wait to see exactly who it was who came out for the Tigers there. Trinity down 3-2 here, 15 minutes to play. It is warm out here in San Antonio, if you're wondering why there's some cramping. Trinity pressing for the equalizer. Codispoti into the box. Katsimpalis looking for it. Johnson gets there. He's dropped it. It's in! It's in! It's 3-3, and it's Austin Michaelis again. Trinity are level, and with 15 minutes to play, it is anyone's game now at Paul McGinley Field. Katsimpalis has looked suspect at times tonight. He dropped it, and Michaelis will take the goal off the deflection. It's 3-3. The celebration from the fans tells the whole story. Trinity are back in it. This one is not over yet. What a game. We promised you goals. We promised you entertainment. And with 15 minutes to go, it's 3-3. Incredible. Chicago have let the 2-goal lead slip, and the Tigers are back level. Corgi to Holquist out on the left, as I need to try and regain my composure here. Dueñas out to the left, and Moore looking to fight against Josh Davis. He pulls it back for Holquist, and Dueñas putting some pressure on him. That looked like it came off the Chicagoan, but it will go in their favor. Swung out to Capitosto here. Michaelis just hammers it away, and Mitchell will see that one out on the far side. Josh Davis checking out here as Liam Looney returns into the game for the first time since the first half. It appears that will put Jacob Galan back at right back. What a game. I hope you're all enjoying this as much as I am. Superb from everyone involved here. Credit to Chicago. They are one hell of a team. You can see why they reached the national semi-final last year. Dueñas, chance for the Tigers. He knocks it past Drablos, but Litch is there to make a covering run, and Katsimpalis sweeps it up. Vanderlee with the header. Johnston having a chase over there, but Coe is speedy enough to get there. Corgi. Johnston puts in a tackle. Nothing given. Coe again. He's trying to get past Johnston, and it will be a free kick to Chicago. "13 minutes to go here until you know what." Referee with a stoppage in play here, and Ethan Moore getting ready to come back in for Trinity. What excitement here. Johnston here with the foul on Capitosto. Yeah, I mean, I thought that one was the foul, but clearly he gave it for this one instead on Coe. Johnston with multiple fouls there, which is maybe not surprising from an English midfielder, but that's just one of those things. Drablos, it looks like, will jog over to this near side, and Coe perhaps himself suffering with some cramps. Brandt back into the game, number 7 for Chicago, as they try and work out how this one has gone so astray so quickly. Ethan Moore back in for Ryan Hunter. Brady Johnston needs a drink. I'm pretty sure it's Gatorade, but you never know, especially with Brady. Just a joke. Johnston jogging back. We'll take another look at this one. Katsimpalis challenged by Johnston, but no foul. A clean drop, and it takes a deflection off the leg of Capitosto and straight into the bottom corner. Austin Michaelis making the impact that he needed. And we are back level here. What a closing stanza to this game we have. Are you not entertained indeed? What a game this has been. I know several Trinity alums, including former Tiger legends Zach True and Tom Carwile, in attendance here tonight. and many more, including Guy Harris, Chris Madden, Danny Rorano, Cooper Fife, watching around the world. Dalen Gordon as well. Michaelis goes up, header from Lopez. Moore needs to put some pressure on Adeosun, and he hooks it away. Johnston will challenge for this one. He gets the touch on it, goes down, and will get the foul. It looked like he was playing for that one somewhat. And also a big hello to former Trinity standout player and assistant coach Chesley Hendricks Farmer IV. You have to say his full name. Roman Cano looking for a way forward. If I didn't say him, Cooper Fife. Coda Spoti towards Michaelis. Well defended by Holquist in the end there. Liam Looney steps forward. Has a ball to Dueñez down the right-hand channel. Dueñez up against Rourke. Tries to get past him and feels his leg there. The referee's going to hold it for the injury. Dueñez looks like he might have pulled his hamstring. Katsimpalis again coming out of goal to have a go at Mitchell. I can't understand why. So Vanderlee getting a drink. The Tigers in discussions here about the state of Dueñez, hoping he's good to go for this last 12 minutes. He's been very influential since coming off the bench. The Tigers in need of a goal to try and steal this one away from Chicago. As Dueñez is helped off the field, it looks like his night might be done. And Hallenberger will come back in. The Chicago coaches saying something in Spanish I can't understand. Not very happy about the stopping of the clock there. Coach McGinley actually agreeing with the Chicago coaches, which is almost a collector's item in itself. As that's Spencer Lewis, assistant coach for Chicago, putting his point across that the referee's not supposed to stop it for anything over a head injury, which is correct. And that's a foul on Johnston there. I can't say I saw that one. Johnston on Adeosun, and it looks like another chance for Chicago here. Trinity have come close to leveling up the shots on goal score with 6 for them and 7 for Chicago, but still with a vast lead in terms of corners, 6-1. We'll take a look at this foul again as Johnston goes up, and maybe. Matt Coe, Adeosun, and Ben Brandt, that looks like, in discussions over this free kick. Adeosun and Coe. As more discrepancies between the officials and the players here. Chicago not committing many numbers forward here, just 3 in the box. Maybe that means it's going to be a shot on goal. Coe runs over it. It'll be Adeosun. He plays it short, and it's touched around the corner, and Cano is able to hammer it away. Hallenberger will not get there on the far side, though, and it'll be a throw-in for Chicago. 11 and a half minutes to go. How are your nerves? Back home in Chicago for the Maroons, and obviously for the Tigers as well. Delighted to have you all with us here on the Tiger Network, Trinity University's leading broadcast network. Blake Lieberman catches that cross and will just roll it out to Jacob Galan, who's been fantastic tonight, as he was on Friday, the first year in this program. Galan to Mitchell, whose first touch evades him slightly. Drablos covers well as Johnson was following in behind. Here's Mitchell. Hallenberger on the left. Carter Romero getting ready to come back in for Chicago. Hallenberger feeds it to Johnston. Johnston rolls it from his left to his right and then is dispossessed by a nice tackle by Brandt in the middle there. This is Moore for Chicago, and he was chased back by Moore for Trinity. Hallenberger on the left pressing over here to try and contain the ever-energetic Litch. Mitchell is going to put a slight press on Drablos, and they'll swing it to Johnson. This is Holquist. Michaelis tries to show him inside, and Looney comes to Lopez. Vanderlee slides in. Adeosun finds Moore on the left. Galan needing to put a tackle in, and he does. Ethan Moore steps forward to pressure Nate Johnston, and it looks like Ruork will be in as well. Coda Spoti has let that one go over his head. Chance here for Coda to put a ball in the box. Cano shifts it away, and Hallenberger can find his man down the line there with that spin. Wesley Mitchell up against Capitosto. Can he use his speed? Austin Michaelis is streaking down the middle, trying to get in there. Mitchell dispossessed. Capitosto did a very nice job. That's Lopez coming from an offside position, no doubt. And that'll be a free kick for Trinity, as Vanderlee, it looks like, going down with some cramps in the midfield. There will be a double sub for Chicago, and it looks like a Trinity debut here for Peter Prentice, the transfer from Colgate University. He is a sophomore in the program, wearing number 16 on his back, and he is warming up, set to check in. The clock is stopped with 9:03 remaining. Discussions with the Chicago players and the referee. Vanderlee is going to try and sub himself out here for Masvar Haller, and that'll push Liam. That'll push Liam into the midfield. And Masvar Haller does go in. Looney into the midfield, and Prentice ready to check in. This will be Ruork. I apologize for butchering some of these Chicago names all night long, but I'm trying my best, I promise. That'll be Adeosun coming out. I'm surprised by that, unless they are saving him for the potential of you-know-what. My sports information department is very happy with me not mentioning the dreaded extra soccer, shall we say. That looks like a push, maybe, on Hallenberger, as Coe hooks it clear to Lopez, who is able to chest it and turn and feed Coe. Out on the left is Moore. Brandt is getting around him. Moore to Brandt, and Galan having to stick with him as Looney tracks the run of Moore. That's a nice touch inside to Brandt. Far side is Moore again, cross into the box, and Mitchell does superbly well there, back defending, to turn that one away from one of the Chicago players. Jacob Hallenberger waiting for support here as he looks to play the Tigers forward. Coda Spoti decides he's had enough of that and sends it forward. Drablos, who's been good at the back for Chicago tonight, does nicely. Coda Spoti charges in and wins that one away from Rourke. Can he win a throw-in or a foul? It appears not. And eventually, it goes in the direction of Chicago. Looney's not happy with that one. But we are ready for Prentice and Romero to come into the game. And Peter Prentice will replace Austin Michaelis. Excuse me. Prentice, originally born in Paris, France, spent a lot of his time in the Houston area, played a year at Colgate, and is now here with the Tigers, looking to be an instant impact player here with the last 7.5 minutes for the Tigers. Wesley Mitchell will swap sides with him, and Prentice will go in on the left of the front two. Johnston pressuring Coe. Coe has to go back, and eventually has won it by Johnston, but he's given the foul, and that's another piece of play from Peter Prentice straight into the game, trying to fire things up. As Drablos and Litch continue to get stuck in. Litch has certainly given it as well as he's got it today. And Prentice went down there and thought Litch may have taken a kick out at him. Unclear from our replay. Just looked like a tangle of legs to me, but emotions, as you can understand, are running high here with 7 minutes to go in a 3-3 game at McGinley Field. This one goes into the box from Drablos. Looney doesn't get there, and Lopez won the header, but it flicks off and behind for a goal kick to the Tigers. Lopez so dangerous in the air. Standing only 6'1", but he jumps out of the box. I think he's a little taller than 6'1". I think they're underselling him on that roster. Prentice down the right-hand channel, can't hold it. And a be a throw into Chicago, taken by Holquist. Holquist to Romero. Brandt to Johnston. Turnover, Ethan Moore. Hallenberger, pressured, gets in the way of the referee, and Jacob Hallenberger may be the first player in history to put hands on the referee and not get booked. Prentice blocks that one. Litch loses out to Moore. Ethan Moore with a lovely piece of skill finds Prentice, able to turn away, and Prentice has some speed, but Litch is going to get there first and put it out of play for a Trinity throw. Ryan Hunter, the spark from Albuquerque, New Mexico, looking like he might be coming in. Andrea Codaspoti down with some cramp as well. 5:44 to play. What a game. It's had absolutely everything. And Rodrigo Castillo will come back in, having had his little break following his bout of cramp, to replace Andrea Codaspoti.
Rodrigo Castillo, number 19 in for Trinity.
Codaspoti receiving a very large round of applause. He's been superb tonight. Castillo throws it down the line. Prentice gets a touch on it inside towards Johnston, but Johnson hammers it away. Masvarhala has Galan ahead of him, and he plays him nicely so he can drive forward past Romero. Galan, Mitchell to his right, but given away to Holquist. Galan gets back in, and that one comes off Mitchell. Galan now still with possession in the right-hand channel. Holquist putting him under pressure. Can he win the Tigers a corner? Galan, pressured by Romero as well, and they're going to give the goal kick. There were some hands on Galan in the end there, but nothing doing. Jacob Hallenberger will be replaced by Ryan Hunter here. 5 minutes to play, and the clock is still running. The Tiger fans in attendance have been superb tonight, as they've tried their best to will the Tigers back from the 3-1 deficit that they were eventually able to do. Johnston with a header, but it goes backwards off him. Coe beats Looney in the air somehow. And Coe again here with a touch out to the right, and Castillo has to turn back and defend Rourke. He cuts back with a little Ronaldo chop and then goes down the line, and Castillo puts a tackle in, and it's a free kick right on the edge of the box, and Castillo again, it looks like, suffering with some cramp. Chicago with a very, very dangerous position here for the free kick. 4 minutes 20 to go, and it'll be Josh Lai, the sophomore from New Zealand, who will come in to play what looks like the final 4 minutes here at left back. McCaffrey jogs back onto the field, trying to get some treatment here on Castillo perhaps. This is a big chance for Chicago, especially with the height that Lopez has. Castillo will be out. It's Coe, and to be completely honest, I'm not sure who else over the ball. It could be Rourke. No, I think it might be Brandt on the far side. 3 men in the Trinity wall. Lai, Hunter, and Mitchell, as Castillo heads back to the bench. Prentice tracking Capitosto. You've got a left footer and a right footer over this, and Matthew Coe may be the more likely. It's Brandt. It's headed away by Johnston, who's been superb defensively for the Tigers. Ethan Moore can't win that one. Masvarhala can't win the flick. Johnston again wins the header. Prentice gets a flick on it, and Lai will put pressure on Rourke. Here's Holquist. Romero has some space. He feeds it down the line to Rourke. Driving in. Liam Looney with a nice tackle there. Saw the blonde hair and not the rest of him. Romero goes past him. Lai gets back in well, and that's going to be surely a foul for Trinity, but nothing given. In fact, Trinity with the advantage. Liam Looney plays it down towards Prentice. Hacked away by Johnston, and now Prentice could chase it again. He's clattered into the back of him. That's got to be a foul. Litch maybe finally now going into the book. And that will be the yellow card as Prentice, welcome to the game there. He is hammered. This one is about as agricultural, you know, that's almost, that could be a 15-yard penalty, to be honest. Romero is the lone man in the wall here, and it's going to be Galan who's going to take the free kick, maybe? Tigers asking for more noise, and the Tiger fans adhering to the request. Galan will swing this in, it seems. Austin Michaelis will be going in for Wesley Mitchell in a minute or two. Galan into the box. Chances. Cano. Deflected wide. And it'll be a corner. Roman Cano with a real chance there. Deflected wide. This one comes off the head of Litch, and it took a touch off Drablos and could have gone anywhere. 3-3, 3 minutes to go. All the threes on the board. Austin Michaelis looking for a hat trick. Back in for Wesley Mitchell. Prentice on the edge of the box on the right. Hunter on the left. Masvar Halla on the goalkeeper. And Michaelis now in the box. The cross comes in. Chance for Johnston! It's blocked on the line. Cano. And somehow Lopez clears it away. Trinity looking so dangerous from these corners. Throw in. Prentice will give it up to Lai. 2.5 minutes to play. We're back underway here. Flicked forward. And that'll be a foul for Chicago. And maybe we can take a look at that last corner. Don't have it. Back to live. Litch leaves it. And Rourke plays it forward, but it goes straight to Galan. Galan looking for Michaelis forward. Litch with a header away. Moore wins it in the air. Michaelis pins Litch. Can he play it out wide for Hunter? Ryan Hunter matched up on the left-hand side. Swings it into the box. Headed away. Here's Johnston. Takes the shot, and it's way too hard and wide. But a nice idea nonetheless. Excuse me. There's 90 seconds to play. And this is a look back at the corner. Ethan Moore. And Johnston had a free header but didn't get a piece of it. Oh, the Tigers might regret that one. A real chance to steal the win at the end there. As Johnson plays it forward. Lopez flicks it on. Coe in behind. Matthew Coe sees the whites of the eyes. It's going to be a penalty. It's not given. I can't believe that. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I cannot believe that. Matthew Coe taken down by Cano, and to me, that is a certain penalty, to be completely honest with you. I was sure that was going to be a goal, a penalty and a red card. Prentice wins the header. More challenging. The only thing that would make the moods of them worse now is a Trinity goal as Prentice tries to get in behind, but I think he's struggling a little bit following that bid hit. Katsimpalis. I am very unsure about that one. Looney and Johnston don't win it. It's a flick on. Lieberman comes out and heads it away. Well done, Blake Lieberman. Brady Johnston clears it downfield. Austin Michaelis running in behind with 20 seconds to go. It's a frantic finish here. Peter Prentice takes it down. Tries to find a back heel to Josh Lai, and that will go out of play. 10 seconds to go. And we are going to overtime. How are your nerves? This is a look at it. In behind, Matthew Coe. The touch starts there. There's nothing on the ball, and I'm sorry to the Chicago fans. That needs to be a penalty. No guarantee that he's going to score it, but there is absolutely nothing on the ball there, and it should definitely have been a penalty. But we'll take it if you're Trinity. That's the way this sport goes sometimes. 4.5 minute break, and then we'll be back with overtime. I'm going to get oxygen and lie down real quick. We'll be back with you on the Tiger Network very shortly. Do not go anywhere. Welcome back, guys. Overtime getting set to go. We're all still in shock about the fact that that wasn't a penalty. 10:30 local time here, and everyone is ready to roll. Lopez gets us underway. Winning this game for either team is going to be huge now. Lopez turns away from Vanderlee. We are in sudden death. First goal wins. Whew. 2 10-minute periods. Everything on the line. And both teams poised for a celebration if they can be the ones to find the breakthrough. Castillo is out and Kodaspoti back in the left back. Kodaspoti, Galan, Masvahala, Lai, Looney, Johnston, Vanderlee, Hallenberger, Mitchell, and Michaelis for the Tigers. Mitchell, chance to get in behind really quickly. Wesley Mitchell, into the box, on his left foot! Katsimpalis saves it. Katsimpalis with the save. I don't know that it was sneaking inside the goal, but Katsimpalis did the right thing, getting his body in the way. As Mitchell able to bundle his way through there. A couple of nice thigh touches, but a great save by Katsimpalis, keeping Chicago in the game. Kodaspoti up against Lopez, and he does very well to win that. Ko with a bit of space. Romero away to his left. This is dangerous for Chicago. Romero onto his left foot. Josh Lai and Liam Looney in the vicinity. Here's Ko again. He chips it in. And it's cleared away by Kodaspoti for a Chicago throw-in on the far side. Vanderlee is going to foul Lopez there on the end line. And it looks like it'll be Ethan Moore coming in to sub Vanderlee, in fact. I mean, yeah, Vanderlee in a very obvious amount of pain here. He is rolling off the edge. And it looks like their sub will come now, as Ethan Moore will come on. Lieberman checking on him, but Masvahala applying the medical attention here. I do just want to say, whatever happens here, obviously it's a difficult job to try and call this one down the middle, based on obvious allegiances here. But Chicago are one hell of a soccer team. Credit to them, and you can see why they won so many games last year, and why they're going to continue to win so many. A nice little bit of sportsmanship in the middle there with Liam Looney giving Adeosun some treatment for his cramp. Nice to see that in the midst of the firefight that is this game. What a match between two fantastic programs in Division 3 soccer. The losers of this, I'm telling you now, are going to be heartbroken, whichever way it goes. Though there is also the lesser spotted tie possible. With it's plausible to end this one in a tie. Strangely, I didn't realize it was possible in America, but apparently, if we go through the 8 minutes here of OT and another 10-minute OT, we could end in a tie. But one moment could change it for either team. Kodaspoti forward towards Mitchell, who flicks it on. Hallenberger chasing him behind. Katsimpalis will come and claim it for his own. Kicked forward towards Lopez. Johnston does a great job to win the header. About this time in the second overtime, Trinity women got a victory this morning with a goal from Chelsea Cole, and that's a foul on Liam Looney. I was not able to pick up that chant. It sounded like we want something, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. Could be we want 4. That would make the Tiger fans happy. Vetla Masvahala will take this free kick. The Tigers got a goal off a service of his 2 nights ago against Rutgers Newark. Johnston gets a flick on the header, but is called for the foul on Lopez. Those two battling in the air all night long. That one maybe for the raised arm by Johnston. Katsimpalis with a weak clearance. Ethan Moore not able to corral it. Johnston slides in with a great tackle. I'm astounded that the referee's given that one. Johnston looked to me clean having got the ball. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think he took the ball and then the man, so you could argue the follow through is dangerous. But for me, yeah, it's a tough one there. Chicago will load the box forward. They're sending 5 men up, it looks, and leaving 5 men back in defensive positions to try and block the Trinity break. The service comes in from Johnson. Over Looney. Adeoson's in there. Chances, and Lieberman is able to get it just about. Fortunate for the Tigers. Josh Lai streaking away, but Lieberman overthrows him. This is how Chicago got their 3rd goal. Romero on the left-hand side. Space for him. Puts a ball into the box, and Lieberman has to tip it over. Great job by Blake Lieberman to tip that one away. And it'll be a corner for the University of Chicago, just their 2nd of the day, as Romero's cross almost turned into the winning goal for the Maroons. What drama. Adeosun, who gave Chicago the early 2-0 lead here, will take this one. Adeosun swings it in. Romero coming towards the back post, but Masfahala with a huge header away. And Mitchell able to bring it down on his chest and just hammer it clear sensibly for the Tigers. Michaelis will put the pressure on Litch, and Litch heads it straight to him. Michaelis trying to burn with his speed down the right-hand side, but credit to Litch, he stayed with him. Not many people can do that. That'll be a throw-in to the Tigers as they press forward here, looking for the winner. I'm not going to be able to speak tomorrow. Lai with the throw-in. Flicked on by Michaelis. Mitchell in the box. Tries an acrobatic overhead kick, but it's going to have too much on it. And drift out of play for a goal kick for Katsimpalis. Our cameraman Nick there, doubling as a ball boy. Good for him. Tiger Network staff. Multi-talented, multifaceted, of course. Nick, Ben, and Gina doing a superb job on cams, and Taylor, Chen, and Josh back in the Tiger Network studio in the Bell Center here. And Sarah, excuse me. A great job from everyone. Matt Coe on the right-hand side. In towards Lopez, and he wanted to give it back to Coe, and Kodespoti will take his time sweeping this one up. He will look forward with the left-footed drive. Johnson sweeps in behind Drablos. Hallenberger underneath it. Corgi loses out to Moore. And Hallenberger now up against Litch. Moore drives forward. That's hooked away by Drablos. And Masfahala calls off Looney and plays a nice ball out to the right-hand side. Austin Michaelis and Josh Lai there. 2-on-1 potentially. Michaelis drives against Carter Romero. Cuts back inside. He still has possession. Josh Lai now feeds it back to Michaelis, who's forced a little bit back. Masfahala. Galan, an unorthodox centre-back, but playing there right now as Trinity set to reset this. Lieberman. Lieberman to Masfahala. The big Norwegian centre-back who got the Tigers back in it at 2-1. That's up towards Mitchell. Mitchell's header on. Litch at the back post, able to clear it away. And Josh Lai will pressure Carter Romero there. Romero's done very well, but Lai stays with him and is just about able to get possession back. Great play by Josh Lai, although too many men in the end. And Johnston slides in nicely, but he might pay for that one with some cramp. We'll see. Galan to Kodespoti. Kodespoti needs an option, and he finds Galan, who gives it back to him. Lovely give and go. Andrea Kodespoti looking for Hallenberger, but just the wrong, for Mitchell, but just the wrong side of him. Galan heads it down into the middle, but that will only go to Holquist. Here's Romero. These two teams in a titanic battle here, as Adeosun can't get a hold of that. And it goes through to Lieberman. What a game. Masfahala to Josh Lai. 2 minutes to go in the first period of extra time. Corgi tries to feed it out to Romero. Lai wins the header there, and here's Ethan Moore. He's got enough talent in him to win this game on his own. Let's see what Michaelis can do one-on-one against Holquist. There's tired legs out there. Michaelis is able to knock it past him, but Holquist does a very nice job with his body. Michaelis can't get there around Nate Johnson. And it'll be a goal kick for Chicago. Katsimpalis will take the goal kick. Corgi puts a touch on it, but it'll go out of play for a throw-in for the Tigers. In play quickly, trying to find Ethan Moore as he ran through there. Holquist saves it. Linesman discusses about whether it might be out. 1 minute to go in the first overtime. Masfarhala up early against Lopez and does a great job winning the header. Lopez, such a thorn in the Tigers' side tonight. That's a long throw down the line. And that's Lopez over there. Lai and Looney trying to win the ball, but it goes in favor of Chicago again. And there's 40 seconds to go. Oh, that's going to be something from Romero as Ethan Moore threw it back to him. And Romero, with a couple of shoves here, is going to get a red card. He's got the red card out, and Carter Romero is going to end his homecoming to Texas early as he is going to get a red card. Moore, as you can see here, does throw it back rather hard in the direction of Romero, but that is crossing the line, and it is going to be a red card for Carter Romero. Looney asking the crowd for more, and Chicago are down to 10 men with 36 seconds to go in the first period of overtime as Romero is sent off. Ben Brandt will check back in for Chicago. I think there's discussion here about maybe even giving Ethan Moore a red as well. They can't decide. And Ethan Moore is off. It's a double red card. Ethan Moore sent off as well, and it will be 10 against 10 for the final period of this game. So Romero and Moore both sent off for what's honestly an innocuous impact in the end. I mean, Moore does throw it into his head, but Romero with the response. Moore walked away, Renato Corgi, and then Romero's push on Johnston is insult to injury. You can totally understand why it was a double red card. You can totally understand. 10 men apiece now, and 36 seconds to go. Looney protesting to the officials. As I forget how to speak English, I'm so tired. It is my language, I know, but, you know, one of those things. Sometimes we have momentary lapses. Thank you all for sticking with us late into the night here. 10:43 local time. So it's 10 against 10. And a throw-in for Chicago with 36 seconds to go in OT. How will both teams respond to that setback? Johnston steps in. Johnston gets taken down there. And these cards are going to continue accumulating the way this is going. Both teams are so desperate to win the game. It is 10 against 10 here. As that one is a foul by Holquist, I believe, on Johnston. I didn't see a card. The clock continues to run here. 15 seconds to go. Trinity wanted to put it forward. Masfarhala puts it up. 10 seconds to go. Off the head of Drablos, and Mitchell will chase it down, and we will go to double overtime. How are your nerves? Minus shot. I'm covered in sweat. I have no idea what's going on. We're going to double OT. Please stick with us. 2-minute break, and we'll be back with you on the Tiger Network. Welcome back, boys and girls. We are checking back in here for the second period of overtime. The Tigers trying everything. As you had a look in at their huddle there. The crowd really trying to get into it here with some songs from the sideline. It's been a mammoth clash here, and Michaelis, Hallenberger, Mitchell and Codispodi look like they will be leading the charge here, with Looney in front of the back four of Lai, Masvarhala, Kano and Galan. For Chicago, Adeosun, Corgi, Capitosto, Ko, Lopez. And then the back four looks unchanged. Litch, Drablos, Johnson and Holquist. Here's Codispodi driving forward into the midfield straight away here in double OT. Codispodi finds Hallenberger, who finds Michaelis. Codispodi trying to pressure it back on Ko, and Lopez with a nice give and go, but it won't go anywhere, and that'll be Trinity ball. It's somewhat cliche to call it an instant classic, but it feels somewhat like that. Kano to Masvarhala. Lai on the right here. He will drive forward. Adeosun tucks inside and gives Mitchell some space. Mitchell plays one through the legs, but Adeosun is able to cover, and Corgi sends it out to the left-hand side, and Ko. Galan is up against him. Ko has electric pace and will try and get in behind here in the second period of overtime. Corgi sends one long, and they are looking for Ko, but Kano is able to just shepherd it back to Lieberman. It feels like the NCAA tournament already here. Masvarhala down the line. Michaelis underneath it. It comes off a great header from Holquist. I'm going to assume that he meant that, and it goes back to Katsimpalis in goal. He's taking his time. You can see the Tiger players on their feet there on the bench. Codispoti up, misjudges it. Lopez against Kano, and that's a foul by Lopez, surely, nothing given. Codispoti brings it away to his left, chips it forward near Litch, and he does well to defend it from Hallenberger. Lopez on the right, looking for Ko up against Kano. This time Roman Kano with a superb tackle. Didn't get done like he did for the penalty earlier, but Ko gets away, and that one goes way over the back of the post. And Josh Lai will chase it down. Josh Lai hammers it forward. Michaelis is the lone Tiger frontman right now, gets a touch on it, but it will go to Drablos, and he can feed it back to Katsimpalis, though he questionably chooses not to. Hallenberger puts the press on, and Mitchell is over here on the right now. These players are dead on their feet. Masvarhala sends it forward. Johnson deals with it well. Here's Mitchell. Mitchell feeds Codispoti. Mitchell charging in on this one. Holquist skews it off, and Looney will get forward here and pressure Litch. Liam Looney charges it down. Chance for the Tigers. Litch takes him down. It'll be a throw-in and not a foul. Scott Litch, who has been fantastic tonight, it must be said, the sophomore from Jonesboro, Tennessee, takes it down. This is a look back at this Roman Kano tackle. Superb work there on Matt Ko, and Looney actually suggesting that Litch has got some cramp now himself, and Litch, as we take a look back with our quick rewind here, Looney up against Litch, and Litch with a nice tackle, not a foul, but he definitely felt that cramp in his calf afterwards. 7 minutes and 4 seconds to play, 10 against 10, OT. When I said earlier this game had everything, I instantly thought, except for a red card, and we gave you 2. So you've officially had almost everything in this game now. These Trinity fans are getting their money's worth. What a game. What a game. Throw in from Galan. Michaelis flicks it on. Looney was in there. Nothing doing, and Lopez tries to come away with it. That's superb hold-up play. Adeosun looking to try and find Lopez, instead goes left to Holquist. How good was the hold-up play from Max Lopez there? Wesley Mitchell wins it back and goes down the line up against Holquist. Mitchell My view is being obscured by all of the Tiger players, and that'll be a Trinity throw as Josh Lai energetically goes over there to get it. Throws it into Michaelis, maybe ill-advised, and that will be handball as it was a bit of a rush throw in and it bounced up on Michaelis onto his forearm. 6.5 minutes to play, 3-3. Johnson to Drablos. Johnson forward, and Masfarhala calls off Lai and heads it out for a throw into Chicago, right by their bench on this left-hand side. That's Holquist. Lopez has time and space and is able to turn and smash it out to the right, and Matt Coe. He's one-on-one against Galan. This is what Chicago want. Galan is beaten by him, and Coe fires it wide. Oh, Galan showing tired legs for the first time today. And Matt Coe putting Galan a bit on skates there, but firing it wide of the post with his right foot. Lopez was lurking. And hearts in mouths for the Tigers there very briefly. Lieberman plays it to Masfarhala, who has had a real resurgence since making the mistake for the second Chicago goal. He's been almost imperious this weekend with the Rutgers Newark performance and tonight. Here's Looney, who's given them a nice lift off the bench in OT. He looks diagonal towards Mitchell. That's well won in the air by Holquist. Corgi hooks it away, and here's Coe again, trying to play it first time to Lopez. Cano wins it, and Looney sweeps it up. Masfarhala pressured by Adeosun, and it goes back to Lieberman. Lieberman to Cano. Tigers definitely want to try and win the game, but equally don't want to lose it. Kodespodi dropping quite deep to try and get the ball. Masfarhala says, I'll do that for you. He sends it to the far side, and Hallenberger will chase it down. Jacob Hallenberger gets there. The diminutive magician from San Antonio. Hallenberger to Looney as Brady Johnston looks like he might have shaken off his cramp to come back in. Looney tries to play one over the top for Galan, who had made a long run forward there. Maybe ill-advised with the state of the game. He needs to track back here, but Katsimpalis able to claim it. That's Holquist to Adeosun, who gets away from Mitchell. That's Lopez dropping it off for Corgi as Chicago build through the midfield here. A reminder on your screen there, 10 against 10 in double OT, 4 minutes to play. Johnson to Holquist. He finds Lopez. Lopez is able to turn away from Masfarhala. This is dangerous. Max Lopez, chance for a shot. He goes past Looney. Lopez over the bar. And the tired legs from the Tigers were very clear to see there as Lopez put on the skates for both Looney and Masfarhala, but then fired it over the bar, and Looney will take a break here as Johnston comes back in. Johnston's aerial threat could be crucial for the Tigers, both in defending right now and in potentially trying to steal a winner if they can add to their 7 corners they've got so far tonight. Lai put under pressure by Adeosun and just skips past him. Well played, Josh Lai. Continues to drive on. Lai's ball down the channel to Wesley Mitchell. He's up against Johnson, and Johnson using his body well, but Mitchell still keeping the pressure on. And that one does escape. And there's space in the middle here for Lopez. Masfarhala stays with him, but it'll be Capitosto who feeds it out to Litch on the right-hand side. Ryan Hunter preparing to come in for one last push for the Tigers here. Coe to Drablos. Drablos to Corgi. I'm losing my memory as we go on. Johnson to Holquist. Lai is up against Adeosun and does well there to stop that one from rolling by as Adeosun tried to send him for a spin. Here's Corgi. Capitosto. Coe. Lots of space for Corgi again. You feel like the team in possession seem to always look like they're going to score right now. 2 minutes to play. Ball into the box towards Lopez. Masfarhala's there, but it drops to Coe on the edge. Matt Coe! Wide of the post. What a chance for Chicago. Hearts in mouths. Jacob Hallenberger will come off for Ryan Hunter here. Ryan Hunter is on in place of Hallenberger. 1:48 to play. .148 to play. Who wants to be the hero? Lieberman will clear the goal kick away. It's a little short, and Mitchell will have to challenge Adeosun. He keeps it for himself and tries to break down the right. Adeosun up against him. Mitchell skips past him, but that's well covered by Holquist. Masvalhalla puts his header on the ball. Johnston challenged there, may have been fouled. Flicks it on eventually, and Holquist gives it away. Mitchell is fouled. Definitely a free kick, and Trinity with a chance to load the box with 1:20 to go. Masvalhalla will trot forward, and Andrea Codespoti will play it. Trinity looking for a winner. Codespoti trying to curl it in towards Katsimpalis' goal. We have 60 seconds to play.
1 minute, 1 minute.
Trinity taking their time over this, hoping this might be the final attack. Codespoti, one hand in the air, swings it in, it's driven. It's dropped on the edge of the box, and Corgi will clear it away, looking for Co. Josh Lai has given away a foul himself, and Codespoti is going to stop the clock here with that petulant decision to kick the ball away, and that's going to give Chicago the chance for potentially the last attack now. 38 seconds to play. What a game. 38 seconds left, 3-3 on the board, and it'll be Nate Johnson who will take it. Lopez the obvious threat for any flick-ons. Breaking to the left is Holquist. Johnson into the middle, away by Cano. That's Capitosto looking to load it back in. He does. Brady Johnston wins the header. Back in again. Masvalhalla wins the header, and Johnston completes the clearance. 25 seconds to play. Michaelis pressures it. Johnston wins the header again, and Codespoti looks to send Michaelis potentially. Austin Michaelis on the left-hand side, but he won't catch up to it, and that might be that. Litch throws into Capitosto. Ryan Hunter puts the press on, and what a game we have seen here. A 3-3 draw between the Tigers of Trinity and the Maroons of the University of Chicago. An unbelievable game of Division III college soccer. Some of the finest drama you will ever see. I need a lie down for a long time after that. What a game. We'll really quickly tell you the story of the game. Early start, Lopez after about 9 minutes with the goal. He was instrumental in all three Chicago goals with the flick on for Adeosun as well for the second. Roman Kano headed it across, and Vetla Masvalhalla turned it on. Masvalhalla turned it in to get the Tigers back in the game before a goal from Matt Coe, the ever dangerous Matt Coe, made it 3-1. Michaelis' penalty made it 3-2, and then as we take a look in here at the equalizing goal that earned the Tigers a share of the spoils, Austin Michaelis with a 3-3 draw. And Trinity and Chicago, after 110 minutes of action, cannot be separated. I don't like to make predictions, and I certainly don't want to sound arrogant, but I would love to see a rematch of this game in a few months in December in Greensboro, North Carolina. At the end of the day, it is 3-3 as the Tiger fans applaud the Trinity players. What a game. What a game. And that's going to do it for us here on the Tiger Network. An unbelievable night of action. Thank you so much to everyone for watching with us and being with us for that unbelievable game. I've been Callum Squires. Thank you so much for joining us. Signing out for the last time here on the Tiger Network. We hope to see you again soon. Have a wonderful night and a very happy Labor Day. Good evening.